Now get a job, Sparkling Wiggle.
Yes, I'll talk you, nigga.
Come on.
Okay, this is a comparison between the Cayin N3 here, the AUNE M1S, which is here, and the SHOZY Alien Plus, which is this one. The newest one that I've had this longer than anything. I've had this for like 2 weeks, and I've had this for a couple days. However, I live in Japan, and I go into a lot of audio shops, and most of the time when you listen to multiple DAPs, you've got not a lot of time, and it's pretty quiet in Japanese audio shops, pretty much. So you can, there's people that spend 500, 1,000, 100, lots of money based on demos at shops. As a matter of fact, most people do that. So not having more time with one device or the other doesn't really make a difference, but the opinions are pretty much the same as they would be if I'd had them for a day. My impressions not really changed for any of these at all. So let me power out of this one. Let me rank these first in order of price. They already are. This would be the cheapest of the devices at about $150. I wreck this very strongly because it's $150. That's ridiculous. This is $250, and this is about $350 to $400. This is still coming up and gonna hit the market. Let's start with sound quality first. Stage. I'm a stage head. I'm a bass head. Everybody knows that, but I really like a really big stage. Just out of camera here is the MA900s. And I've got the adapter so I can switch from balanced to single end. These were all listened to in single end because this doesn't have balanced, and this doesn't have balanced either. So the only balanced device is this one. So single ended was listening to all of them. Stage, stage would actually be this, which is a surprise for me, because this has a very large stage. And this people say that you can't tell the difference between 44.1 and 48, and I think I disagree a little bit, because the files that are at 48 on this one, they sound good, and the ones that are 44.1, 16, just like a CD, sound very, very nice. For a single-ended output, they sound very wide. I know that this balanced has a bigger stage. It's a significant difference between single-end and balanced. But I'm not comparing them. If we're just going to say which one has the possibility of being the widest, it would be this one. But going single-ended, it would be the SHOZY, the AUNE, and then the N3. Next would be detail, and I would keep them in the position that they're at right now. Though I might say that these two are. These two are very, very close to identical. This is really a detail monster, and this one is too. And the reason that this one is, I know people talk about sound matching, but this has such a powerful output. It's got a Class A amp. I was doing a bass test with it with my SEs, and it just throttles those drivers. It's a very, very powerful device. This has it's got a lot of dynamics to it, which is something that's also dynamics and detail is something that people say, oh, one is one is the other, and other people kind of mix that a little bit together. More dynamics is implying more detail in the playback, so I'll call it detail. These are both very, very close, listening to the same exact file. A Horse with No Name by America, with lots of little stuff going on in the background. These were almost indistinguishable between two. This was slightly different. And you know, hey, look, this is also the price positioning, and I didn't think about that till I'm looking through this lens right now. That this is $150 cheaper, and it's pretty close to this, if not equal. It's almost indistinguishable, so they're physically put together right now. Let me move that back out. So that would be detail. On impact of sound, looking at my notes, impact would be this, and then these two are hard to say which one. This has a very powerful playback, and bass has a very clear, distinguishable presence. It's very impressive. This is a different level from these two, and this is the most expensive of the three. So that would be Impact. And it doesn't matter the music, if it's acoustic, if it's a hip hop, if it's a Bob Marley, the bass part of the song is very, very present without really bothering the rest of the. I thought originally that the mid sounded like they were kind of lost, but that was really the recording, as I made sure that I was using the same files. So Impact would look like this. Separation, the ability to distinguish instruments kind of in separate positions would actually be, you think you're kind of, this would be, this is a very impressive item for $250. If you go unbalanced on the M1S, this thing really kicks ass. It's very wide, and all the instruments are really, really clear to visualize. And it is on this one to an extent, but that's the strong point of this thing. You throw this into balanced, and you got such a wide stage, and you've got detail on top of that, and both of those things lead you to have the ability to image mentally, with your eyes closed, the location of the bassist, which it might be on the left because it's on the left side channel more than it's on the right. The vocalist might be centric. The drums might be slightly coming out of the right driver more, and so you can position mentally where these instruments are on the stage. Best with this in balance. If we're going in single end, I guess I'd still lean on this to say that that's better. This is not. There's nothing wrong with this, and there's nothing wrong with this. This is just as this was tuned. I believe it's got like DSP or something in it. They paid a lot of attention to, I guess, what they consider to be the ideal sound, with maybe the help of some people. So, and they did a good job, because this thing sounds really awesome, especially in balance mode. So that's sound quality. Go back again. Stage would be this one. Detail would be this one. Impact would be this one. Separation would be this one. You think detail and separation is the same thing? No, detail and dynamics are close, but separation it requires a stage, and it requires a large presentation for you to be able to, like, psychoacoustically mentally project images in certain spots because of the way that they're panning more to the left or more to the right. So that's how that would go. Move into power. Without even close, I don't care what specs say. I was playing a test track from Bass Mechanics, and this is what it would be. This on a whole nother level. This is actually pretty powerful, to be honest with you, but this is very powerful. I don't know what the ratings are for this into a 32 ohm impedance, but it's quite powerful. It drives the hell out of the SZs. It really makes them slam. Sadly, there's not an EQ, so I can't like tweak it to perfection, because then I could do bass videos with this thing. But if I do a bass video, unless it's a test tone, the treble's going to come screaming out too. So, but there's a shit ton of power on this thing. So this, and then these two. Cayin's pretty famous for power. The C5 is a famous amp, and also the i5. Though I didn't like it, I have to say that every time, the thing was powerful enough to do a bass test just right off the DAP. Very, very, very powerful. This has got plenty of power. I believe it's, oh God, 190 into a 32 ohm impedance. I might be wrong. 130 to 190 would be this device. It's plenty powerful for IEMs and a lot of headgear. This has got power. Don't know what the specs are on this one. Don't know what this are. Just listening to the same song sounds kind of like this. Next would be ease of use. Now we're going to flip this over. Put this right here. This is basically like a droid in the sense that you've got a main menu that appears with like 4 or 5 options, and then every single one of those menus has drill down ability, and you can set filters, and you can set gains, and you can set gapless playback, and you got themes, you got all kinds of stuff like that you would have on a phone, and it's got an AK DAC in it, and it sounds fantastic. So with ease of use, I mean, plug this into your computer, drag and drop files, unplug it, re-scan your library, and you're good to go. Absolutely fantastic sound, $150, easiest of the three to use. This one is easy in the sense that you push it and it turns on. You can plug it into your computer and drag and drop. The UI is a little bit unique because it's a custom brew. It's their original, so once you get used to it, it's okay, but there's a little bit of a... With this, if anybody who's got a phone pretty much knows how to go through this within 5 minutes. This takes a little bit longer. This takes longer than that. This is not the friendliest device. So ease of use would be the N3, the M1S, and then the SHOZY. Price would be most expensive, second most, and then cheapest. So when we say value for your money, we go back to here. This is $150. This is $400. This is $250. Which one is giving you the most for your money? That would be the N3, without a doubt, absolutely. If you're a musical purist and you just like the music and you don't need all of the other stuff, this might be the one, because it's $250 still, and it's got fantastic sound, and it's got balanced. I'm a balanced fan, and this has got it. So depending on if balance is important to you, which one would be the most valuable? This one would not be the most valuable under any circumstances. It doesn't have balanced. It doesn't have an EQ. And it's lacking other things too. So as far as value goes for your dollar, it would be ranked pretty much like this. Now let's get into weak points, and which one has the most weak points. Okay, looks like this. The SHOZY has no EQ. This has no EQ. This does. So this would have the issue. This would have the issue. This would not have the issue. This has balanced. These do not have balanced. This does not play FLAC. That's people are like double takes right now. No, as of right now, this does not play FLAC. You got to convert to WAV or MP3, but it's not going to play FLAC files. And for a guy, me, who's got almost everything's vinyl rip FLAC, including Tupac, which is a vinyl rip, that's a problem. Anyway, that's what it is right now. Does this stack, and can they support it? I'm sure they can, so that would be like a firmware update. I don't think there's any hardware limitation to playing a FLAC file, 2017. Another problem with this would be that you can't drag and drop it. I can plug this in, computer recognizes it as a storage device, I drag and drop files into it, unplug it, I'm good to go. Plug it into a computer, computer recognizes it as a storage device, I drag and drop items into it, unplug it and go. This thing, I need to take the SD card out, I need to put it in a reader, I need to transfer onto that, and then I need to put it back inside of here. So as far as which one has the most weak points, it would be this one, clearly. This one has the most weak point. And this is also the one that's not really hit the market yet. So how much of this gets taken care of before it gets released, I couldn't tell you. Hopefully the FLAC thing gets taken care of. That's ridiculous. Take the SD card out. I got a reader card, so and I've never used it until I got this thing, so now I know how to use that, so that's cool. Firmware updates, drag and drop. I just take it's a pain in the ass. Fine. It's a music player though, so I like FLAC. People say WAV's better than FLAC. I don't think so. I think FLAC's is good, better. I think it's better, to be honest with you. And this doesn't support that. I got to convert stuff. I had to download software just to be able to convert it. So pain in the ass, biggest. There's really not a pain in the ass about this, except for it's a kind of a ghetto GUI, but that's its appeal too, because it's very, very simple. You just it plays music. There's no album art. There's no album art on these two. I'm an album art guy. There's no EQ. There's no EQ. I'm an EQ guy. These don't have that. They sound really nice, so I can forgive them. The no FLAC on this is borderline not forgivable. And then you got the little N3 sadly over here, but since we're talking about weak points, it's kind of good because it doesn't really have a weak point, except it doesn't have balance. So the only problem with this is it doesn't have balance. And that's not a problem for a lot of people. For me it is, and for a group of people like me it is. I like balanced. No EQ, no EQ. That sucks. No album art, no album art. That sucks. No balance, sucks. No FLAC, sucks. I gotta take the SD card out, put it in a reader, drag and drop, put it in. That sucks. So this has got more sucky stuff than the other stuff does. This doesn't really have any sucky stuff except bounce. So you've got one thing against this. Sorry, one thing against this. No EQ, no album art. I won't even add the GUI because that's I got used to it like pretty quick. So we'll say this has got 2 suck. 1 suck, 2 sucks. Card reader thing sucks. Doesn't play FLAC sucks. No album art sucks. No EQ sucks. So we got 4 sucks on this one. 4 sucks, 2 suck, 1 suck. You suck. You sound fucking awesome though. So and you're not on the market yet, and they can update stuff by a firmware, including the FLAC thing. They got to be able. I can't possibly see how. They said it's related to the CPU and the efficiency, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, let me make that choice, please. I can play WAV or FLAC if I want, but I can't until you update this. So, which one do I rec? It's really not the point of this video. I'm just comparing them. So again, we'll go through it. Stage, SHOZY. Detail, SHOZY. Impact, SHOZY. Separation, M1S. Power, SHOZY. Ease of use, N3. Price, value, N3. Weak points, the least weak points, N3. Most weak points, SHOZY. And that's these 3 right there. I've recommended this one highly because it's $150 and I'm very happy with that. And if people don't like it, I don't give a shit. It's $150 and it's fantastic. This is being rec to people that really need balanced, and this has a fantastic sound. They voiced this really, really well. They did a really good job with this sound-wise as well. It seems to be a little bit file dependent, and it's got issues as far as, like I said, the 4 sucky thing. So maybe those can be worked on. But that's these 3.